Have you heard all the horror stories about what it's like to live in Minnesota? It is a frozen tundra all year long. All we eat here is lutefisk and tater tots, layered on top of canned soup with ground meat, and we just shiver miserably inside our houses for months at a time. Also, there is absolutely nothing to do here, and the people are not friendly at all, or at least they're not friends. Everyone here has the name of Sven or Leif or Ingrid because there's no diversity. I'm Mary Schumann. I'm a realtor here in the Minneapolis area, and I have absolutely heard it all from people that I know when we made the move here 9 years ago, as well as the many people that I've helped move to Minnesota since then. So today I want to debunk some of the top stereotypes of what it's like to live in Minnesota, but I may also have to confirm some of them as well. So let's just start right at the top with the hellscape that is the weather in Minnesota, or not. We are absolutely famous, or should I say notorious, for our winter weather here. So much so that people seem to think that it's what we deal with year round and that there is never a time when we leave the house without a parka, and only the strong survive. We have impossibly short days and never-ending nights and sub-zero temperatures followed by grim days that start and end with shoveling feet of snow and breaking our bones when we fall on the ice. Why am I laughing about that? It actually does happen that people break their bones when they fall on the ice. Anyway, I'm here to tell you that this tale has been told by a bunch of drama queens for the most part. Do we have snowy, cold winter? Well, yes, duh, obviously. Assuming that we are in a normal weather pattern and not eerily free of snow like we were last year, thanks to climate change, are people absolutely miserable and gritting their teeth and just trying their best to survive it? Hardly. Listen, if you can't stand being cold at all, please don't move here because it does get cold. We usually have some flakes around Halloween, and hey, guess what? Today's Halloween when I'm recording this, and guess what's outside right now? Our first snow. It won't stick. Winter starts to get somewhat more legitimate feeling around the 1st of December, and then we do hit the depths of winter in January and February. So are people hiding in their homes, shivering and wishing it were over? Nah, for the most part, people here actually love winter. It is something to look forward to, and Minnesotans are very outdoorsy people, very outdoorsy. And winter is yet another opportunity for a whole fresh set of activities that you can do outside. Things like sledding and skiing and skating and hockey and ice fishing and whatever it is you like to do. Bicycle riding, for real. The number one thing to do to make this time more enjoyable is to buy proper clothing. So if you are dressed for it, winter is not going to faze you, or at least you won't be really cold. I did an entire video on this, and I'm going to link to that here. You can watch it if you want to know how to prepare yourself for winter in Minnesota. Listen, there is an entirely separate country full of people that live north of us here. I wish I could remember who I was talking to on the phone that said that, someone who's considering a move here, and they are right. In addition, winter is what I think of as kind of a time of coziness. It's slower, it does get dark pretty early, and it stays dark fairly late in the morning, so you have a lot of darkness. But the right lighting in the house, soft clothing in layers, a fire in the wood stove or fireplace if you have one, warm drinks, and permission to eat things that are not summer body friendly. A little comfort food, perhaps. You know, it's for safety because we need another layer here. That's what I tell myself. So about that tater tot and canned soup thing, they make a casserole here, also known as a hot dish. Please don't say casserole. And it's really a mofongo of meat and vegetable with condensed soup and a layer of tater tots on top. The Minnesotans really swear by this, and it probably helps with building up that layer, I'm assuming. I still haven't tried it, but don't tell anyone here because I don't want to be scorned. I mean, I'm finally starting to blend in. I also don't know anyone that actually eats lutefisk. I'm pretty sure it happens somewhere. I have seen churches that are advertising this on their sign at certain times of the year for lutefisk dinners, and I'm sure that they're absolutely mobbed with that kind of offer, but I haven't witnessed it with my own two eyes. Okay, let's talk about the rest of the seasons. Spring. It's very short, it's a season of hope, and then brilliant, almost blinding greens as we come out of the dark winter. Spring is technically 3 months long, but I feel like we really see about 2 weeks max here before the switch goes to summer. I think spring is actually the worst season here because it's mainly snowmelt and we can't do winter activities, nor can we do summer activities. Summer, however, is so sweet here. People take advantage of every single minute in summer, soaking up the sun, storing that vitamin D for later, and we have really long days, often quite moderately temped, and we usually probably get into the mid 80s in summer with a couple of weeks that we consider stupidly hot, which are in the 90s, and then we give in and we turn on the air conditioner. Often though, it cools down at night and you get the nice cool mornings and warm afternoons. And then we all graduate into our favorite season of the year, which is autumn. What a wonderful, beautiful transition season. The very best temps come during the days in autumn. Sweater weather, it's perfection. There's incredible leaf colors and cool evenings. Minnesotans do play a little game of chicken where they try to hold out till about November 1st before they turn on the heat. I don't personally play that game. Also, something you should keep on the down low for me, please. I turn mine on in the morning to take the chill off the house and make my life a little bit happier, but usually autumn days here are absolute perfection. So you have nothing to fear here. I have debunked lie number 1. Or moderately debunked it because winter is really real. People like it for the most part. Okay. All right. Lie number 2. People here won't really be your friend. They're friendly, but they're not friends. I actually think this one is also bullshit. Have you met humans? I feel like they're the same everywhere. People are comfortable in their groups. Some are more outgoing than others, but I would say that if you're new to Minnesota, just know that you need to put yourself in contact with the group of people kind of repetitively before they decide, hey, you're more than just passing through and I'm going to call you a friend. It's just like every other place. People tend to mind their own business here, but they are warm and friendly and helpful. And I just think that when you move anywhere as an adult, it's not like when you were a kid and you had an instant pack of friends when you went to school. You do have to find a thing that you like to do it relatively frequently so that you're bumping into the same people. And, pretty soon you're going to have friends with the same interests. I really did find it easier to meet people when we had a young child and I was in the school all the time for events or volunteering and all that kind of thing. But now, because of my job, I meet people all the time. I would say that making friends for me really meant getting to know my neighbors and getting involved in groups that I like. For example, I love to cycle. And people like cycling together in groups and I can meet them for group rides. Or I like to knit, and when I moved here I joined the knitting guild and there were a bunch of people with the same hobby that get together regularly to chat and knit and whatever. So you do you and you will find friends. I think that if you choose to live in the Twin Cities, you're going to find a lot of people that are not native to Minnesota, so they're going to be a little bit more open and actively looking for friends. Smaller towns might be a bit harder to crack, but I have faith in you. You are likable. All right, so side note on the famous Minnesota nice, it doesn't mean what you think it means. I love hearing people talk about Minnesota nice. Minnesota nice means that they're going to avoid confrontation with you. And I looked at Wikipedia. I just wanted to see what the official definition according to them was. And the phrase implies polite friendliness, an aversion to open confrontation, a tendency towards understatement. Yes. A disinclination to make a direct fuss or stand out, apparent emotional restraint, and self-deprecation. It is sometimes associated with ding, 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 passive aggression. And I agree with all of these things. So I think I've debunked lie number 2. Lie number 3, I'm going to make this a real estate lie since that's my gig. Lie number 3 is that Minnesota is a super cheap place to live and buy a house. I think people have this idea because they haven't been here or maybe given it much thought. No one thinks of it. That no one in the planet is thinking of Minnesota. It's flyover country. No one lives here. Real estate is valued accordingly. This is incorrect. The Twin Cities area is home to over 3 million people. So it's a pretty decent sized metropolitan area. The median price for a single family home here is $400,000 in the 7-county metro. I know there are a lot of places in the United States where you can buy a house for less than $400,000. But most people here, when they come in, seem to end up paying higher than the median price when it really comes down to getting what they want. So yes, we are far more affordable than places like Chicago, New York, San Diego. But you can't actually move here thinking you're going to pay bargain basement prices for a home. We are the upper Midwest hub, and we are home to 15 Fortune 500 companies. We have a very vibrant economy and a thriving arts and restaurant scene. We have a major international airport. This thing is enormous, and the importance of that cannot be underestimated. Having that nonstop link to the rest of the country and much of the rest of the world is a major draw for people when they're thinking of places to live. If you want to know more about what there is in the area, I have a free relocation guide. You can download it. It's in my description box. I promise not to harass you. All of this to say we are more affordable than some places, but housing here is in high demand and you are unlikely to be able to get a smoking hot deal. So prepare your mind for that. And I think I have debunked lie number 3. So this gets us to lie number 4. And that one is that there is no diversity in Minnesota, that everybody is of Scandinavian heritage and we're nothing like the rest of the country, which is a big nope. We have a different settlement pattern here and a different history than other parts of the country. Here we have a large Asian and Somali population thanks to refugee resettlement over many years. And in my opinion, that has done nothing but enrich the area because there is a lot more to experience here with diversity of people, and that has led to the adoption of a lot of different foods and traditions and things to do. And I can tell you that replacing lutefisk with pho is not a hardship for me. I love it. Anyway, what did I miss? Tell me in the comments below, have I made you question everything you thought you knew about Minnesota? Do you have questions? If you do, please reach out because I do love to talk to people that meet me on YouTube. So thank you so much for watching.